Hi there, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm gonna tell you about my favorite ever neighborhood in Malaga. So I'm here in the center of Malaga and we are gonna take a bus to go to this area which is called El Palo. If you're new to this channel, let me introduce myself. I'm Yulia, I am Eastern European who's been living here in Malaga for over 2 years. Follow my channel about living in Spain, traveling and learning languages. We are heading to see the sunset because sunsets in that part of Malaga are just incredible. We'll also try some typical food. It's very convenient to get to El Palo from the city center because there are all 3 buses, number 3, 8 and 11, passing the Alameda Principal, the central bus stop, and get off at the stop Avenida Juan Sebastián Elcano, the spot near the bridge. But you can get off a little bit earlier, no problem at all. The promenade is just 5 minutes away from the stop, so we are hurrying there, but we are running a bit late for the sunset. Although the most beautiful time is just after the sun sets. Today's sunset isn't particularly spectacular, but you can sometimes catch an incredible one here. Keep this in mind. We pass some bars where people are enjoying their drinks and the sea view without yet realizing what is to happen. We stop to listen to some live music. And then notice this place I've never visited before. It's called Frida Palo, a creative adjustment of the name Frida Kahlo since the area is named El Palo. The venue offers stunning views from the terrace. So we found this terrace. It's really noisy in here, but it's really nice and it has a view. But mostly here is a place for drinks and some snacks. At this point we were still hoping to find sardines for dinner, but it didn't work out, so we ended up at my favorite Italian restaurant eating a pizza. Last week we miserably failed with Sardines in El Palo because it was all closed, like the only places open were the bars. This week we are going to go to El Palo, but this time for lunch, late lunch, I mean Spanish lunch, and we are gonna eat this amazing espetos de sardinas. And don't think we didn't check the schedule. We actually checked Google and it said that the place was open and all the other restaurants were open, but they weren't, so do not trust Google. The biggest disadvantage of El Palo is that there is no metro, so you need to take bus. And it takes time, but all depends on where exactly you live. We passed my favorite promenade again, and it seems like this time is more successful than the last one. Because I arrived for late lunch, the restaurants are still open and people are eating, but unfortunately at Merlo, where sardines are €2, the kitchen is already closed. By the way, I have a guide with great spots like these and interesting locations for traveling, or if you are trying to adapt to living in Malaga after moving here. It includes neighborhoods, transport tips, hiking spots, the best specialty coffee places, restaurants, and much more. I will leave the link to purchase it below. I ended up in a different restaurants with €5 sardines. You usually get 5 or 6 grilled over a fire sardines. I usually order 2 portions per person. Prices depend on the place, but the general range is between 2 and €5 for 5-6 sardines. In very touristy spots, you might even find 10 or €15 prices. Don't go there. I really enjoy the cheesecake here. Afterwards, we continue walking along the seaside, watching this beauty and looking for a spot to tell you some more things about this neighborhood. I lived in this neighborhood for almost a year and I would love to live there again. Why do I like El Palo that much? Well, first of all, it is so beautiful and it is so picturesque. Have you seen those details? Have you seen those tiny little chalets? This Andalusian style of everything. It has so much charm. And this typical espetos de Sardines, the way they are cooked in the old boats. There are so many seafront restaurants and bars. You should know the name of seafront restaurant. Here it's called Chiringuito. For example, I just had my super late lunch in the Chiringuito called Los Cuñaos, which is the Andalusian for Los Cuñados. An interesting fact, the word cuñado also can mean a person who makes bad jokes. I think Andalusian people will never stop surprising me. Every single day. Number 2, in El Palo there are so many playas and they are all shallow. They are far from the center, so here you will only find local people, and it's really popular with families, with kids, because they're shallow. Sure, it's so comfortable to be here, and because of the small lagoons the water is actually a bit warmer here. Number 3, why I love El Palo. I am a sunrise and sunset type of girl. I actually cannot decide which one I prefer, but here is a really nice sunset spot. For example, if you are in Malaga Oeste, you are not gonna see this beauty as you're gonna see here in Malaga Este. So I definitely recommend this place. I've seen so many sunsets from here and they were just breathtaking. Also, there is a mountain here and it's easy to get there. 1.5 hours and you are on top of the mountain, which is 500 meters, and you can enjoy the sunset from there. It is so underestimated and there are not so many people as you can find in the center, in some of the miradors, because the most popular viewpoints in the center are usually full of people, but San Anton is so empty and nice. Mostly there are only locals in there. Of course, it's not only about pros, and there are always some disadvantages. So what are the disadvantages of living here in El Palo? One of the biggest disadvantages of El Palo for me is the transport. In here there is no metro, so you will always need to take the bus, and buses here are really slow. They make like 30 stops till the center and it will take you at least 20 minutes to get from here to the center, depending on the bus you take. There are 3 buses to El Palo, and also there are night buses, which is really nice. They're called Nocturno N1. This is the bus that is gonna take you to the center even at night or early morning, and it's even gonna take you to the opposite part of Malaga, to Malaga Oeste. But actually the distance from here to the center would be like 5-6 kilometers. I think that 20-30 minutes is too much for that distance. You can also use a bike, which is really convenient, even though the cycling lane doesn't go till El Palo, but you're gonna make like half of the way at least. Number 2, too many people, especially during the high season. You're not gonna believe how many people come here to enjoy the sea, to enjoy espetos de Sardines, to enjoy the atmosphere. So be ready for that. But if it's not high season, this neighborhood is so calm and nice. Number 3, there are no parks. I mean, the closest park would be San Anton, which is 1.5 hours walking. There is one small park in Pedregalejo, but in total here there are no parks, and basically the sea is something that substitutes parks. Number 4 is about the prices. The prices to rent an apartment or to buy an apartment, especially to buy an apartment, are so expensive. Because it's surrounded by mountains, there aren't so many options in here. So I totally understand it, and because it's so beautiful and because it's so unique, I think it should be more expensive. So that's totally fine. If you're okay with all those cons and you see a really nice apartment So I think you should take it because really soon it's gonna disappear from the website. So this is all for today about El Palo. Tell me in the comments what you think about this neighborhood. Did you like it? Would you live here? Don't forget to give a like and subscribe to my channel. And see you in the next one.